to lecture 4, where I'll be explaining list, paragraphs, and text styling. So I'll be using the same file I used earlier. Okay, now let me just clean this. Okay, let me clean this, and like I've said, now let's try to work with the very first one we're going to work with here is list. So we have two types of list, which is ordered list and unordered list. So ordered lists are those lists that actually have 1, 2, 3 and so on and so forth, and unordered lists are those lists with bullets. Yes. So now you type your UL, then you close your bracket. Now this is the shortcut. Let me teach you. You need to understand. For instance, I want to type unordered list. Just type UL, then you press your tab. By so doing, you can see we have the opening and closing unordered list. Then I can now put list of items in there, list of, so let me just list LI. So I'm gonna be having my home. Let me just duplicate this. You can see, just check the keyboard shortcuts here. I have let me just add 3. Okay, let me just say about. Let me just add contacts. Now let me try to come in. Okay, you can minimize your screen this way. I'm trying to minimize my screen. Okay, so we can see the same thing. Okay, cool. So you can do the same thing. So as you're typing, you can see I have my unordered list. Inside the unordered list, I have the list items, we can say, which is the home, about, and I'm very sure we've seen websites with this particular feature. So now, you know, on a normal basis, for instance, if I go to the first website I have here, if I click on any of this, it will redirect me to a particular portion of the website. You can see this. The moment I click on the about, it redirected me to this. For instance, when I clicked on teacher logged in the other time, it redirected me to the teacher login. So that's the function of these links. But when you look at this link is not functional because it cannot do anything. So okay, let me just try to update the code. To make it clickable, I'm just going to add a tag, the front A. So I'm going to close the bracket, a tag, so I can actually copy this and paste this here, so I can duplicate this and rewrite others. So let me just add one more. Okay, let me just write about gallery, for instance, then contacts. Okay, so let me refresh. You can see now we have so now I've added the a tag. So now to make this a tag actually functional, I need to add some attribute to this a tag. Then you click on the a tag. Immediately after the a tag, give space, then you type your href reference. So there in this space, I can reference where I want the link should redirect me to anytime the user click on home. So supposing we have another page in our folder, maybe the page is for instance, this is home. Let me just leave it as blank like this. So let me say about, for instance. So okay, supposing I have another folder in my another file in that folder with the name about.html. okay, and so what you're telling the app, the code is that you can see, you notice two different things. So in my own page, if let me remove this first one. Let me remove this so we can see the difference there. I only added the h reference to my about, you can see the color for the about has actually changed compared to others. And as I hover my mouse to the about, at the bottom of the screen you can see the link here. Okay, so which means if the user click on about, it will redirect them to about if about file is found. So now let me maximize my screen and let me click on my folder explorer. On your own folder explorer, you click on it, then let me try to create another file with the name about.html. Let me click on enter. Let me follow the same process here as well. So what's the process? All I just have to do is press my shift and exclamation mark. You select the first one, you are good to go. Let me rename this as my about. Okay, so let me just give it a simple heading. So h1 about page. Okay, so let me return to my index. So at the top you can navigate back to index. So now let me minimize back so I can continue with what I'm doing. So there you go, I have this here. Let me refresh. So if I click on my about, you can see it redirected me to the about page. This is the logic behind those websites you see. Any website you see it and it redirects you to any other to another page, it is the function of this link. Then you can navigate back with this about. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so let's continue. I'm going to close my explorer here. Then let me add some let's go to the paragraph. So you press your P and you have your paragraph. So let's code with map. Okay, let me just give it a